All right, guys, stay tuned. We're going to be catching up with the fellas that's already been featured in the Beard Advice series. So this one's going to be fun. Hey guys, Brian Haywood here. Welcome back to my Beards and Banjos YouTube channel where we discuss tips and tricks for your beards. We do some product reviews and unboxings, and we've got this Beard Advice series where you guys can be featured in your own video. All you've got to do is send in a couple of pictures to me to that email address you see below. I take a look at it for a couple weeks, and then you get featured in your own video. And we've done 28 episodes of these things so far. So I wanted to do a quick recap here and revisit with some of the guys that I featured over the first 20-something episodes. I was able to catch up with a lot of them, not quite all of them, which is okay. Some look dramatically different. Some beards are longer, some beards are shorter, some beards are gone, and some guys look about the same. But that's okay. I've gotten a lot of good feedback for this series. It's kind of unique in the community. It's allowed guys to get some specific advice, but also I was able to use these guys kind of as my beard models to give you guys other tips and tricks and ideas and style consultations. Plus you get to meet some more guys in the community. So having a great time with that. I hopefully can get to continue this. I've got a couple guys waiting in the wings to be featured, but I'm going to try to do about one a week if I can, but I want to do a recap here because I got to go back to work next week, so I know that my video output production here is going to be slowing down some, but I've got maybe 20 something of these to go through, so we're going to go through them relatively quickly. But I want to start with Rob Acker. He will always be the first, and especially thanks to these first 4 or 5 guys who were really kind of being guinea pigs and not knowing what I was going to be doing really until they saw a couple of them. So Rob's got that great beard. He's got that great hair. Envious of that hair. So my suggestion was, yeah, grow that hair out. It looks great. And he did that for a while. It was looking great. And then the North Carolina hot weather hit him. So now he's cut his hair a lot shorter. It still looks great. His beard's gotten even longer. But he said if he makes it through this hot summer with that beard, long beard intact, that it'll be a miracle. So I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we can keep the beard going there, Rob. But Rob's looking great. Next we have Jesse. Jesse was growing out that beard, going for the year. And then I saw on Instagram this picture. And Jesse's always got that little mischievous little grin on his face. And then he sent a new picture to me last week. He said, yep, the beard's coming back. So looks like he's having a great time with that. Next up, we've got Dave. And Dave was the first one that kind of got the Hollywood treatment. So he's now forever known as Hollywood Dave because I compared his beard style to Leonardo DiCaprio, and he still got that look. He was growing his beard out for a year, and he decided to kind of edge out the cheek line a little bit more and kind of take in the stragglers and trim stuff down a little bit. So I think he's a lot happier with that these days. But if you look, he's still all Hollywood right there. He's got some room to grow down there on the bottom a little bit more now after he got the trim, got everything back in line. Next up, we've got Wayne. Wayne was the big beard. He's going for the year. He made it. Congratulations to Wayne on that. And then he got a pretty major trim, and he got one that was kind of a nice mid-length style, and it looked great. He was scared to death. He's messaging me back and forth. I'm going to go in. Here we go. And he sent me that picture. It's like, man, that beard looks so good. It's grown back quite a bit since then. He's kind of happy with where the shape is right now. I can't argue with that. You're looking great, Wayne. And next we've got Mo. If you remember Mo, he had a little accident with the trimmers on his mustache. So he was able to overcome that and grow it out, but he's always had trouble with the beard being really unruly and the styling aspect of it. So he grew that back out for a while, and then he decided wanted to go shorter, and he had another trimming accident. I think he said he was like trimming and texting or something at the don't trim and text at the same time. Don't text and dry, don't text and trim, guys. Anyway, he cut it short, and I'm telling you what, Mo, you looked a lot younger when you trimmed that thing short. I thought it looked great. He's coming back a little bit right now, and I know he's going to grow it out a little bit longer because he's got to do all those balm reviews and that kind of stuff. So make sure you check out his channel there, Mo the Bearded Shark. Next we have Scott from Beard Times with Scott. And Scott wanted some advice about his hairstyle and all that stuff, so he went and got a fade. He was going for shaving his head there for a while, so now he started to grow his hair back out a little bit. And he's kind of staying with a little bit of a faded look there, a little longer on top. He kind of had the really high and tight, and now it's drifted out a little bit more, a little bit more volume on top. Looks good. He's growing out his beard again some more after having a pretty good trim on that. He's growing it back out. He's also going on a biotin journey, so if you make sure you're following his channel, you can see how that's going to affect. He's going for a whole year of taking biotin to see if that affects the density and stuff on his beard. So I'll be interested to follow. Next up, we've got Mike. Mike's that good-looking dude there. He's growing that beard and was saying, you know, keep that beard, grow out that mustache. And he was well on his way. He got it out to this particular picture, was looking really strong. And then this happened. He said he went to get a trim and it was so bad he had to like shave and start all over. Good thing you're a good looking dude underneath that beard there. So it's still looking good. He's got about a week or two's growth coming back, and it's going to come back looking stronger than ever. So I'm interested to catch up with some of these guys that are kind of growing back from scratch the second time. If it's easier than the first time, you've got so much more knowledge. You kind of know what your beard's going to look like at different stages and how to handle the styling aspect. I think it's probably going to be a lot easier the second and third time you grow back out your beard. Next, we've got my man Tyson, faithfully bearded. Tyson, from the pictures he sent me, has really grown his beard out quite a bit more. So it's getting longer. He's styling it out. He still did a great style routine. So if you're interested in seeing that one, make sure you check that one of his latest videos out about how he styles up his beard. He had the undercut. It looks like he might be growing that out. It's hard to tell in all the pictures he's got on a hat or a headband there, that kind of thing. So I'm curious to see what's happening under that headband. So we'll stay tuned for that. So that was Tyson. My man Sergio. Sergio had a really short haircut and he had trimmed his mustache. So my advice to him was kind of get a little bit more hair on the top, and then also to let that mustache grow back out. And he did that. The beard's also growing out strong there too. But Sergio is looking good. And then we've got Chris, who is hashtag beard model. That's what I kept saying on there, is that he should be a beard model. And it looks like I saw some beard model pictures since I made that video. So I don't know if he took my advice or somebody else snatched them up and started making pictures and let Chris be the model for that. But also I wanted to show you that recently he got a nice trim and it really got some more shape to it. That trim looks really good. He said he's ready to grow out even longer now, but it kind of took away some of the stuff way out on the edges. So it kind of reshaped everything. That's looking really good. I can do a lot more modeling on that. But Chris was also the first one where the beard's the big natural beard. And that actually got me thinking about my beard, because I really liked it, but never thought I could pull it off. But as the weeks have gone by, mine's changed too. But next we got Doug. And Doug is also one that had the big natural beard. And he was kind of keeping his hair trimmed really, really short. So my suggestion was to grow some stuff out on the top. And then also to kind of do a maintenance trim. It's kind of like what Chris did. It's kind of take off it looked like about a ½ inch needed to come off around all of it, and that kind of gets everything back in line. And he did that. His wife trimmed that up, and he let his hair grow out a little bit on the top. He's got a little fade going on. It's looking really good. Also, now that he's co-washing every day and using the butters at night, he said it's a lot more manageable. It's easier to comb and style, and he doesn't, after the trim and stuff, he doesn't have to worry about really trying to straighten his beard anymore. So Doug's looking great on that one. And then we had all these big beards in a row. We had Joey Hookham. So when we had Joey, he had that big beard, and he's like, yeah, my wife wants me to trim it. I'm ready for my summer trim. I think Joey's one of the only ones where he hasn't really trimmed his beard since then. He grew, I mean, it's really grown out some more. He kind of fought against his wife on that one. I know the wife's going to win at some point. He said his wife likes his at about 4 or 5 inches, and he's down at, I don't know how long that beard is, but it's looking great. Joey's another one that could be a model. I love it when he does some of those black and white pictures. Always look good. And then we've got, let's see who we have next. We've got Adam that owns Barden. I like these guys are so great to talk with. Some of them I talk to all the time since then. We've become good friends. Adam is one of those. And for Adam, he's got that great hair. I told him, please don't touch that hair because I don't have any. I have to live vicariously through some of these guys. But my suggestion for Adam was to, he had kind of a fuzzy cheek lines, didn't really have a defined cheek line. So he's now defined his cheek line using the foil razor on that just to kind of hit it in the mornings. It's really low maintenance to do that. And it's looking really good. It's kind of dialed in the focus on his beard, makes everything pop a little bit more. And he's looking great these days. Zach, if you remember Zach was the one that had to trim off most of his beard for a job that he had. He was working with hot molten iron, I think, or something. So he had a new job, had to be fitted for a mask and that kind of thing. So he had to cut it down to a goatee. And he's been growing it back since then. And now if you look at it, it's almost all the way back. I think, Zach, you're about ready just to kind of cut the stuff on your goatee region and kind of get it back in all in one length and just keep on rocking that out. Looks great. All right, next up we've got Will, and Will's been another one that's been growing that beard out. That's the Beastly Beards, Bearded Beast is what he goes by on Instagram and YouTube. He's doing a lot of little IGTV reviews and that kind of stuff. But he's grown that out even more. I looked at a picture where he kind of compared 6 months of growth that he's got on it. So it's looking really strong at the bottom. And also he's letting that mustache grow out, which is what I suggested for him. And his girlfriend's really supportive of him. It's really neat to see them having fun with that. Next we've got Seven, and Seven has also started doing started a YouTube channel doing some reviews and some music and beard stuff and other cool things. So he was the one that was looked like a mechanic by day and a rocker by night. He's still kind of doing that. It's got on his work shirt here, but if you look at his hair there, you can tell where he had it dyed and that kind of stuff. So he's still doing his thing. So that's cool. Next we have Kyle, and Kyle's a North Carolina boy, and he was one that made me think as well. So when I got to Chris and started really thinking about the big beards, and then Kyle is one where he had a great looking beard. I thought when it was like at a 6 months. But he said when he gets it trimmed, they were tapering down his cheeks too much. I thought it looked great in the picture, and then after I did his video, and I didn't get it on the video in time, but I started thinking, I think what Kyle really wants is kind of the rounded look here, kind of like the lumberjack look. So he didn't want the flat front. Okay, he didn't want it to be completely flat. He wanted it to be nice and round and full through this area. So that's what he's on his way to doing now. Here's an updated picture of him. He said he had to do a pretty good maintenance trim there to get ready to be in a wedding, I think it was. But he said he still plans to go out to the 6 month beard. So that's looking great, nice and full and rounded. That mustache is killer too. So Kyle's looking great these days. All right, next up we got Kenny, Beard Strong 08. It's got that beautiful symmetrical round bald head, and he's got that big red beard. So my suggestion was for him to kind of tighten up all the stuff on the sides, just to see what that would do for him. And you know what? He took my advice. He said, it'll grow back if I don't like it. No big deal. So he did it. It looked good. He said it was different. And then I think he's just kind of grown it back out since then. It's looking great. And the best thing I like about Kenny right now is he started doing some more review videos on YouTube. So he's a fun guy to listen to on that. So Beard Strong 08, make sure you check him out. Next we've got James Hennessy. So James is growing out his beard as well. He's always kept it kind of relatively short. We kind of dialed in that, and he sent me a message like, yeah, I want to go for this look that Matt from No BS had. So it was still kind of a business beard, tapered here, and then kind of a little shelf at the bottom, nice defined line. And you know what? He's well on his way. If you see this picture he had with his hard hat on here, you can tell he's almost to that. So it's looking great, James. Keep it up. So next we've got Brian, hog fan, bearded hog fan, I think it is. I think he's a funny guy. Every time I ask for a picture, he'll always send me one where he was a lot younger and didn't have a beard. And I'll say, yeah, I just took this one yesterday, and he was like 20 years old with no beard. But anyway, Brian grew out his beard. He made it. He got his trim, just kind of taking everything in, and basically he's still looking pretty much like that. So I think that beard is here to stay, and who can argue with that? It looks great, Brian. So always good catching up with you on that. Next, we've got Derek, Bearded America. And he was the one that's got that nice, full, dense lumberjack kind of beard. And he's planning on growing it out for a year, I think. I don't remember how many months it is now, but it hasn't been too long since we featured him. But he's actually gotten about another inch on the bottom of that thing, and it's nice and full. I can't wait to see what this thing looks like in about 3 more months. It's going to be killer. I can't wait to see it. A lot of beard envy going on with some of these guys, but we got to rock what we got. We got Steven, that metal guy. So my suggestion for him was to try to grow out that mustache. He tried it for a while, but I think he ended up trimming it back. I can't argue with it. It sure is aggravating. I can relate to it. But if you look at his beard there, it's grown quite a bit longer, and maybe he's working that round brush or something, but it's nice and full here. Beautiful kind of wavy action to that. Gives it nice texture to it. It's looking great. So keep on rocking out there, metal. Maybe we'll do one more guy. How about this guy right here? This was me back when I did the announcement for the Bearded by series. This was March 31st is the day this thing aired. And when I started seeing the guys with the big natural beards, and I saw some guys kind of trying to fight the natural curliness of their beards, it's like, you know what, maybe I'll try my natural. It's the summertime. I was off for 2 months. I was able to try it, and it's like, I think it's long enough and it's dense enough I can try it. And I'm kind of digging. It's a whole lot easier than trying to put the heat to it every day. And I don't have to worry so much about the high hold bomb. But we'll see. Next week I have to start wearing the collar shirts again. So I don't know if I can stand it or not. And we'll see. I don't know how much longer I can get it without it starting to thin out on me. But I'm going to keep playing around with it and doing all this research for hairstyles and beard styles and all that stuff. It's had an impact on me as well. But I've had a great time with this so far. I hope to continue it. Let me know in the comments what you think about these guys. They're looking good. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you on the next video.